Welcome back to the laboratory, everyone. Today we're going to take a slightly deeper dive into this new product. It is the Monogram Hot Forge Ice Press. I've posted a couple of videos now on this device, and I'm getting a lot of questions in the comments and some reaction, not all of it 100% positive. So I wanted to talk about what this product is, who it is for, and is it important to the industry? So Monogram has a deep history of creating products no one knew they needed. An example of that would be the Hearth Pizza Oven. The Hearth Oven is the first of its kind ventless pizza oven and hearth oven. I use it all the time in our showroom for events, and I gotta tell you, I think it's fabulous. When it first came out, it had a princely price tag of $12,000. They expected to sell universally maybe one, maybe two a month. And it did well enough, even at that high price point, that they put it on an assembly line. They were able to reduce the price. I think right now it's at $9,800, and there's some discounts, making it affordable, certainly compared to $12,000. And I've seen them in the wild, in people's homes. I've cooked on them in the showrooms, in people's homes. It's a fantastic product. If you don't know about this, I'm going to put a link to one of my videos describing the pizza oven below in the description. Make sure you check that out. Okay, so back to ice. So Monogram, which is owned by GE, has this builder space. It's called First Build. I've been there. It's in Kentucky, and it's wonderful. It's this really hip area where you can rent equipment. What do they got? They've got cutters and laser printers and water jets and laser etchers. They got every piece of equipment you could possibly need, CNC machines, to make something really creative. And it's also a research facility for GE, and the thing they really specialize in is ice. So they've got all kinds of different kind of science experiments there, literally science experiments, and different ways to make ice and to increase ice production. So I think that's where this Monogram Hot Forge ice press came from, is, hey, what can we do to make crystal clear ice ball in moments? So let's talk about crystal clear ice and making ice balls. One of the comments I got was, well, I can make an ice ball with a silicone mold myself. What do I need that device for? Yes, and you can make ice balls in silicone molds. That's easy enough to do. I have them in my home, and I make ice balls, and I put them in different drinks, whatever. But what you're not getting is that crystal clear ice ball. And why is that important? Because that's how they do it in restaurants. And the standard for great food at home is, what are restaurants doing? And restaurants are buying crystal clear ice balls through different ice manufacturers, artisan ice manufacturers, and we have some here in Denver. You can buy batons, you can buy cubes, you can buy spheres, you can buy whole blocks, you can buy chunks that people will hand whittle. And yeah, is it increasing the price of the beverage? Absolutely. You know, if an ice ball costs a restaurant $2 to put in a glass, they might add $6 or $7 to the price of the drink. It's special, and that's what makes the Monogram Forge Ice Press a unique product, is that it's special. It's special, it better be special, because it's $1,500. And that's a lot. And the reason it's so expensive, because these are, as far as I understand, they're handmade at this maker facility. They're hand assembled, and they're not anticipating selling a ton of them. So probably similar to the arc of the Hearth Oven, where it's something that the first customers who are buying this product, bringing it into their home and enjoying it, are those customers for whom a luxury item is a great buy. And a luxury item is something that you don't have to have. You can make a silicone ice ball, and you can enjoy that, and I do. And the people who commented I could do that at home with a silicone mold, they're right. You can certainly do that at home. But if you want crystal clear ice, and you want the show, you want the presentation, you set the ice block in the forge press, and it does its magic. It slowly closes down over that ice cube, making that crystal clear sphere, and you pick it up with tongs, which have a satisfying feel to them, and you clink that into a glass, and it's so clear you can barely tell it's in the glass. That is indeed something special. It's a luxury item. So part of the reason I wanted to make this video too is I got a question: what's in the box? What does this come with? For $1,500, what do you get? Well, you get the press, and the press is about yay big. It's about a foot, maybe 16 inches tall. It's big enough and hefty enough that it'll have presence sitting on your bar, but it's not so big as to be clunky. And the one that I saw that I posted in the video, again, I'll link that down in the description, is something that this gentleman that works with us through Monogram, he carries around in a suitcase. So it's big enough to have presence, but not so big as to be obnoxious. You know, if you've ever like tried to pick up a KitchenAid mixer, for example, the thing's heavy and it's bulky, and you gotta, this you could move around pretty easily. It comes with those tongs, and as I mentioned previously, those tongs have a nice satisfying feel to them, good spring tension, and really sharp. So you barely grab onto that ice ball, and it really kind of digs in there. It's very, very satisfying to use. It comes with a silicone ice mold, and it'll make blocks, and the block is big enough to fit in there. It's tricky to make perfectly clear ice, so I don't think that silicone mold will yield the best ice in the world, and I'll get back to that here in just a moment, but it does come with a silicone mold, and then an instruction manual. So yes, you can, right out of the box, you can start making ice cubes, balls rather. I think it says it takes about 90 seconds for the device to press an ice ball. So if you were making cocktails at home and you had a few friends over, by the time you pull the glass out, chose which liqueur or whiskey you were going to, or liquor you were going to pour into the glass, get the glass, wipe it out, your ice cube is almost ready to be done, and then you pop that out, send it in the glass, pour. It's really magic. Back to clear ice. So one of the hard things about making crystal clear ice is that ice is aerated, it's got minerals, it's got different natural and things in it that are floating around at a kind of a microscopic level. So to get perfectly clear ice, you have to push all that out. So the very best ice molds are actually made out of metal, but the problem with that is that the ice wants to stick to the metal. So if you were able to have a solid metal ice sphere, what would happen is as the ice slowly forms, it's pushing all of that air and the contaminants is the wrong word, because it's not really contamination from a consumption standpoint, but it's contaminating the ice, the clarity of the ice. It will push that up and out, and all that stuff will end up at the top of the ice cube or whatever shape you're making. So the hot forge does help clarify the ice, any kind of ice, in that it's tempering that, it's bringing it back up the temperature just enough that those contaminants that are inside the ice kind of get disguised from that warmer ice. And then they're saying, lastly, they're saying that you can take that ice ball and you can get about 3 drinks out of it before it starts to melt too much. So yeah, you can, if you know you're going to have maybe a couple glasses of whiskey, you don't have to make it every time, which is pretty neat. So the benefits to this, pardon me, the benefits to this is the theater, the show. Having that crystal clear ice is wonderful. Having something that no one else has, for a lot of the clients that we work with, that's important. And then also Monogram and First Build and GE, they have a tradition of being the industry first. So they're the first home ice forge out there. If you wanted a device like that, this is where you go. So I think that commands a premium price as well, because when you're first to do something, well, you get to set the market price. Is it worth $1,500? Well, it really depends. If you have a high-end bar, if you are buying the very finest whiskeys, if you have thousands of dollars of curated whiskey, then yeah, why not? Why not treat yourself to the very best? I know people who have rare and wonderful whiskey collections, and they want to protect the flavor and make sure that they're enjoying it as much as they can. Absolutely. Is it something that everybody needs at home? Absolutely not. As the comments have said, I can make an ice ball in an ice sphere in a silicone mold, and that you wouldn't be incorrect. So hopefully this helps answer a few of the questions that I've received through the comments. I appreciate everyone commenting. And of course, if you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe. That's helping me bring these ideas to fruition, getting them filmed, getting them out here so that I can share with you what's new and exciting in the appliance world and share with you my passion for food. This is Chef Mark at the laboratory.